All right. Hello and welcome everyone to this episode of Boomer and Degen. I'm your host Biz, back at you with co-founder Andy from Crypto Hub HQ. I think we're getting good. No, we're
Yeah,
not.
we're good.
Okay, good, good,
We're good.
good. Perfect. So yeah, new location, new setup. I am at my mother-in-law's, so forgive me for Friday's we were just figuring things out technically, but also I was on a major move. On top of that, I was out with my kids cheerleading competition, so but I saw this crazy green thing that shot up to the sky, almost what seemed like to the sky until it hit a ceiling, only to find out what came and by the man of Trump being sending out tweets and alerts about a few different coins. One of them being BTC, of course, XRP, and a couple others. But the market reacted positively. So that's all I know since I've been gone. Andy, please, without further ado, let us know. Fill me in.
Yeah, so I'm on a different camera because for some reason my continuity camera won't work on my iPhone. So my iPhone is sat here now rather than. So I'm not going to be looking over there. I'm going to try remember to look here. So if you see me looking over here, that's because I've forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously we had the big dump. Let's go take a look, shall we?
Oh
Because the
my
market has,
goodness, what a move!
obviously that's recovering. But what happened was that on Friday we had the massive dip, right?
Yep.
But we didn't close beneath this could be. We kind of retraced most of the way back up on the day. And then Saturday and Sunday, and that's the only worrying part is that, of course, on Saturday and Sunday, it's mostly retail traders, right? So they can change the price quicker. So that's the only issue with that. That's the only kind of thing I would say. But today we are down over 1% from the start of today. But again, because we've had such a rally, in terms of from the lowest point we got up to there, we had like a 21% rise back up, right? So you can imagine some people got some trades in down here and then are just taking profits. So not to be unexpected that might happen. Also, I think, as I've said many times, having just one massive green candle is not enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that as much as people are saying it could be a fake out to the downside, this could be a fake out to the upside. What we need is some confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect that it would kind of maybe do this kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. We want it to have a retracement, which is very standard. And then, in fact, if let me just put some fair value gaps on, you'll see how it's kind of come down to, it's formed a positive bullish fair value gap here. And it got stuck on this bearish fair value gap here, right? So it couldn't mitigate it. So you'd expect it to come down into that. So if it kind of came down and then we got a further move up, then I would be like, hey, we're back in bull territory. I mean, you didn't hear me on the the stream on Friday, but as I was saying to people over and over again, if when we were down here, you could DCA in,
Yeah.
right? You could DCA in because even if the price was going back up, you could buy more as it went back up, right? But at least you're getting initially at a cheaper price.
Yeah.
If I go to this tab here, I've got all of the kind of top 10 coins in here. But there's another thing I've got in here that I want to go through with you, which is this BTC1 exclamation mark.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the CME futures, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, right?
Yeah.
And what they were saying was that obviously we've got this huge gap here.
Yeah.
Now, normally what happens with CME gaps is at some point, it can be a week, a day, a 2 years, they get filled. And I put an alert with this. If that alert would have fired, we would have filled it, right? But we didn't quite make it. But that is interesting that it retraced near the bottom of that
Mm-hmm.
gap. It started to recover
Mm-hmm.
at the bottom of that gap. So it may be that they deem that gap as filled now, which is fairly standard, but we'll have to wait and see. The main alts, I mean, if you look at like XRP had a big recovery of 54%. If you'd have been trading biz, you'd have got some nice trades out of that
Yeah.
over the
Yeah.
week. Um, but but if I go back to here, others, right? So others obviously recovered, and you didn't see this, but what I did on the stream on Friday, biz, was put on the golden cross,
Ooh, that's a
and if you
death cross,
that,
isn't it?
that's pretty close
Yeah.
to crossing down. Yellow being the EMA 50, to white being EMA 200. If you go under it, it's kind of a bad sign. Go over it like we did here, that's a good sign. It's not crossed yet, but it's kind of on the verge of it. But whereas Bitcoin isn't there yet, right? It's kind of, that this has really helped. This big green candle has really helped, because that white was starting to turn down on Friday, but now it's starting to turn back up after a massive N%, on the day. What was it? Whoops, hang on a sec. I've still got my writing tool on. On that kind of 9-10% rise back up, that's really helped, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, it's so here we are. I think we're not back up to the level we were trading in for that 2 weeks yet.
Mhm.
We really need to see a progression of going back up. But when we go to our usual friends, look at
Ooh,
the state.
jeez.
Yeah, right. So that says we're in Bitcoin season, right? We are in Bitcoin season. And when you go back here, even today, USDT dominance, although it dropped yesterday, as one would expect when people are trading, is starting to go back up in line with Bitcoin's fall. It's going back up a little bit as people
Yeah.
are, okay, and they're the sensible people. They're going, okay, we've got to wait to see what the next move is now,
Mhm.
right? We did a lot of trading yesterday. We took those profits, and now we're sat back in USDT, and we're going to be waiting to see how BTC plays out today.
It's interesting because you can sort of draw a trend line from the top of that move all the way to where it's at right now, and you'll see that it actually rejected right off of that trend line as well.
Are we
That
talking
downtrend. BTC,
which
sorry.
sorry, BTC? Yes, well, you could do that. Yeah, so you could say uh, kind of there, right? Not quite there on a trend
What
line
if we
yet.
just took the bodies?
You tend to take the wicks of a trend line, the bodies of a horizontal. So, but even if you took the bodies, right, you'd have to take the bodies of all of them, really. Then, you kind of, yes, okay. But again, trend lines are a range, biz.
Yeah.
So you could still say, even if you put it halfway there, right, even if you put it on the wick of that green one there, then yes, we're almost being rejected. But it's a range of prices around that trend line, right? As is the one coming up. All right. So what I would like to see now is going back down and retesting that. But let's go to fear and greed. That's gone up to 39, having been down at 21. Like I think 20 was the lowest it went to. That kind of sentiment tends to, people start aping in again, right? But one of the other fear and greed indexes I've found is on the CNN site, and this is the fear and greed index for the stock markets. And right now, the stock markets are in extreme fear because the stock markets are saying we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Do you know
I
what
don't
I mean?
blame it. I don't blame it.
No, I mean, and this is all to do with the nonsense that's going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
Will there be tariffs? Won't there be tariffs? Will people, Canada's stopping to, is it British Columbia have banned they've cancelled the Starlink project. They've
Oh,
banned,
really? I'm
yeah,
in BC, so I haven't even heard. I got a lot
they've
of catching
cancelled,
up to do.
and then they've stopped buying American stuff. I can't remember what it is. They've asked that nobody buys American. But yes, it's there's a lot of extreme fear and fear. Junk bond demand fear, safe haven demand extreme fear, put and call options extreme fear. Stock price strength extreme fear, market momentum extreme fear. So the entire markets are
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. Does the
uh,
Warren Buffett principle apply? Be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others
yeah,
are fearful.
possibly so. I mean, I've got the Nasdaq down here.
Okay.
The Nasdaq recovered. S&P 500 that recovered a little bit. But again, you see, this all goes in line with what Bitcoin's been doing, right? These don't trade sort of over the weekends, do they? But when you go back to here, that's the only thing that worries me here is the fact that this happened over the weekend
Hmm.
rather than the American market taking it up or Asia or something like that. So I'd be very interested to see today now what happens with that. Now, in terms of trading, I've not got a lot of news because the news is kind of obvious. There's been a lot of news coming in.
I didn't get your take on Zelensky. Sorry, but I gotta ask you after the call.
Ask me after the call. Um, if you want to get my opinion, look at my Facebook posts.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh no, I don't even have you on Facebook.
Oh no, well, I really don't use Facebook a lot, but every now and again something gets me to the point where I do. I've actually been defriending a few people, only because I'm not into wild conspiracy theories, right? And
Mm,
I'm into. I don't need billionaires to get more happy; they're already happy,
mhm.
right? The people who need the help should get the help, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But on the other side of me, those people that don't want to work and just get a handout, I'm not into those either, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I am kind of sometimes right, sometimes left. So somewhere in the middle that ish, somewhere more right, some things more left. I've got left wing friends, I've got very right wing friends, right? We have some interesting clashes, and I like to listen to what they have to say. But when you get just the complete bullshit that we're getting on social media these days with out and out lies and made up facts, right? Or as Kellyanne Conway calls them, alternative facts. Our facts are an alternative version of the truth. It's like, duh. But anyway, yes, enough of that. Trump reveals US crypto reserve bombshell, sending BTC and ETH, and Ripple, Solana, and Cardano rocketing. I love those phrases.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's what gets the people to click, right?
Yeah, but the rocketing is not the word I would use. But anyway, but
Mooning?
the mooning, yeah, we've just had a retracement to the upside, right? And today we're kind of okay. We're out of breath a little bit, so we're taking a breath. And when you go to the 15-minute, you can see that, right? It's just taking a breath.
Hmm.
Just lounging around here. Saying that, over the weekend there were some good trades from our alerts. Sol V was a good one. That was yesterday morning, my time, around 9 o'clock. And then it went on all of my day. So I put my stop here, let it run, and that got out at 17%, which is very
Nice.
good.
Yeah.
Then I got stopped out of a couple that went against me. What was that? I might have taken it off. I've taken it away now, but I got stopped. Small, really small loss of like $15 or something.
Mm.
This Shell USDT on Bing X, you can only 10x is the maximum leverage, and you can only do $250 in a given trade.
Interesting. Okay.
That's it.
Well, that just tells you
So,
how much liquidity there is.
yeah, right. But it does mean that your stop losses are really small. You can have a slightly bigger stop loss, and they're still very small,
Mm.
right? So I just put a trade on that because that has been coming up within our alerts as going its own way and all that kind of stuff. But there's still the usual. I got rid of this one, but
Ooh,
this was a very, very good coin, but it's now buggering about. Prom,
yeah.
I think, in today. What was the one I was doing a setup on? Was it WIF? Oh, WIF. It might have already gone. I was looking at it because WIF, although if I come to here, it's just had on the hour, it's just had a cross of it had a golden cross. On the 2 hour, it's just crossed, and on the 4 hour, it's on the way to crossing. And then I looked at this on the 4 hour and said, and it came into our alerts, right?
Ooh,
And I said, well, there's a natural kind of resistance level here. It's
yeah.
tried it before. Let's see if it's going to reject it again. So I did a trade setup, but then because I wasn't sure if we were going to be back in time, so I got this trade set up and it seems to be playing out. But as you see, this is where I like to wait for. I like to wait to go in until it kind of retests, because if you'd have gone in here,
Yeah.
you'd have been stopped, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
you
true.
kind of go down to the 3 minute, and you'd have gone, okay, no, 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 and then maybe even now I wouldn't be in. I'd be waiting for it to go back up one more time. Um, because what I want to see is those lower little candles, the
Yeah.
highs of the candles getting lower. And then suddenly you get stopped out, right? Proper liquidity, and off we go. So maybe this is the point where it starts to go down.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Um,
it really does. It does looks likely at least.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I
Because
mean,
you got that sort of retest. It's like that liquidity sweep kind of already happened if you see
yeah.
right there. Yeah.
So you've got to. What I tend to do now is just put another alert up here, get it close to my end, move it down to my entry,
Yeah.
and if it comes back in again, I'll have a look. If it doesn't come in, it means it's shot down, and I don't care.
Yeah.
So because there's always more trades to be had, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of the alerts, we've had going their own way. This tensor keeps coming in. It's is that in my alerts? Because yeah, it is, because that was going. It keeps getting going its own way, which again, what they've got here, I put on this kind of natural support and resistance. But what I've actually been doing is going in and putting where it was this one where no, where was it? Don't tell me. Oh yeah, it was this. It was Varna where I went on and put on a load of POCs,
Hmm.
because support and resistance. I've got these kind of support and resistance lines, but I like that confluence of knowing that where I think there's a resistance, there's also a POC. So it makes sense, right, as an extra confluence. So I've got an alert down here because I'm waiting for it to retrace back down to this POC here. I don't know why that doesn't say POC, but it bloody well should. But yes, so lots of coins. Again, if you have people that are trading, you can have a look. Rising fast, falling less. Prom again has just come into that. Again, this is one that I've got in my list because I'm looking to have a bash at trading that. That seems to have some wild swings, right? 5% up, 5% down. You know, you can. I've not drawn anything up on that yet. I just put it in when I saw it in one of our alerts. And then because I've been looking at some coding today as well. But yeah, so lots of alerts coming in, lots of things to trade, both long and short. But in terms of the market, we're down 1.36% after a massive rise. Let's see what happens. Because you know, the good thing is we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's the right way to look at it. We just now say thank you for that. Now confirm that you're staying up.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. Are you staying up? No
Hmm.
or yes. You know. So yeah, that's kind of that's the update, Biz.
Cool.
You missed the chance of trading your beloved XRP for a massive gain.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like you mentioned, there's always another, another time. Like,
Yeah,
yeah. So, we've been doing it for a while now to know that, market always hands you other opportunities as well. So, yeah, no, it's pretty cool. And honestly, to be honest, where we left off, it looked pretty dire. So the fact that it came back like this, it's just it's a good
yeah,
sign. I think hopefully people's morals change, and I haven't gauged the sentiment yet because I just got back, but I'll take a look at
yeah,
what's going on around the community and pop in and see what's happening.
yeah. We just need confirmation now. Let's just
Yeah,
see.
follow
But the
through,
problem is
right?
it's like at the moment every day is a news day. It's
Oh
like
man, there's no shortage of that.
no, which can affect the markets like for the good or the bad. You know.
Yeah,
But
cool.
that's the world we're in. That's it.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. That is it for today's episode. If you guys haven't done so already, give us a follow. We'd greatly appreciate it as we're trying to grow it out. Hopefully, we can get to more and more people as we go along. And if you're trading yourself, feel free to jump into our server. Let us know what you're trading, what tips you're looking. Maybe you've got something that that's working for you. And so we would love to hear that, because chances are we could get that as a new alert. So
Yeah.
without further ado, we're gonna call it a night. And feel free to join our server. Make sure you click the link, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see our Discord server, and would love to see you in there. All right, guys, that's it for now. Take care.
Happy trading, everyone.